Have you ever wondered why life feels heavier after 60? It's not simply the body slowing down. It's not just the passing of years. The true weight comes from what we refuse to let go. Old habits that no longer serve us. Memories soaked in regret. Unspoken words that linger in silence. And relationships we keep out of fear, not out of love. Look around your home stuffed with objects you never use. Look inside your mind crowded with complaints, comparisons, and grudges. Even your heart feels burdened, carrying ties that should have been released long ago. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "It is not the world that weighs us down, but the way we choose to see it." The heaviness after 60 is not age itself. It's the accumulation of what no longer belongs. Today, I invite you on a journey. Not a journey of adding more, but of releasing. Together, we'll face 9 invisible burdens and lay them down, one by one. And you will discover, peace was never far away. It appears the moment you dare to let go. If this message resonates, I'd love for you to stay until the end. And if you're new here, welcome to The Stoic Habit. Subscribe and join this community of modern Stoics who are learning every day the art of living lighter, freer, and stronger. Part 1. Stop complaining. Release the voice of the victim. Do you notice how often the same phrases slip out of your mouth? I'm old now. No one cares about me. Something always hurts no matter what I do. They may sound harmless, almost like casual comments. But every time you repeat them, you are quietly reinforcing an identity. The identity of the victim. Complaining is like carrying a backpack full of stones. At first it feels light, but day after day you keep adding one more rock, then another. And before long, you wonder why it's so hard to stand tall. Here's the truth. You are the one putting those stones inside. No one else is doing it for you. Seneca reminded us, we suffer not from the events themselves, but from the way we choose to see them. Every complaint is a rehearsal of pain. It doesn't soothe the wound, it deepens it. I once knew a woman who lost her husband. Her grief was real, no one denied that. But for 10 years, she repeated the same line. My life has no meaning anymore. What began as a cry for help turned into a wall that pushed her friends, her family, even her hope away. She didn't just lose her husband, she lost her future, because her words built a prison around her. Now imagine if she had chosen different words. Instead of saying, I am empty, she said, today I will find one small thing that gives me strength. That shift, even if tiny, would have been the seed of recovery. And that's the lesson for all of us. The words you speak are seeds. If you plant complaints, you harvest bitterness. If you plant intention, you harvest power. Here's a challenge for you. Tomorrow, count how many times you complain. The next day, cut that number in half. Not by denying reality, but by refusing to narrate it as a tragedy. Instead of saying, I'm exhausted, say, I need rest to regain my energy. Instead of saying, nobody listens to me, say, I will speak with clarity and calm. You don't erase pain by complaining, you multiply it. But when you choose new words, you stop handing over your power. That's where freedom begins. That's where peace enters. Because happiness does not come when life becomes easy. It comes when you choose to stop telling the story of the victim and start telling the story of your strength. Part 2. Stop comparing yourself. Reclaim your worth. How often do you catch yourself looking sideways? At the neighbor who still travels the world. At the friend whose grandchildren seem more accomplished. At the smiling faces on social media that make life look effortless. And suddenly you feel smaller, less successful, less alive. Comparison is a silent poison. It doesn't strike all at once. It seeps in slowly, stealing your joy from the inside out. You no longer see what you have, you only see what you lack. Marcus Aurelius warned us, do not waste time arguing about what a good person should be. Be one. The message is simple. Stop measuring yourself against someone else's script. Your value isn't proven by their life. It's proven by the integrity of your own. Think of it this way. Your life is a tapestry woven with threads of triumph, failure, sacrifice, and love. From a distance, it may look imperfect. But pull out even one thread, and the whole design begins to unravel. When you compare your story to someone else's, you're trying to stitch their colors into your fabric. But the truth is, your pattern is already one of a kind. What you see in others is only the surface. The lush tree you admire has roots buried in storms you never witnessed. The smiling photo hides a battle fought in silence. And while you measure your flaws against their highlights, you forget the hidden battles you yourself have already survived. So here is your practice. The next time you think, "She is better off than me," or "He achieved what I never could," replace it with, "My story is mine alone, and I can still write it." Take 5 minutes today. Write down 3 footprints you've left behind, moments where you endured, where you grew, where you gave. These are the proofs of your worth, not the size of your house, not the number of stamps in your passport, but the character you've built along the way. Comparison will always exist. There will always be someone with more and someone with less. But when you choose to honor your path, the mirror changes. You no longer see someone lacking. You see someone still standing, someone still capable of planting new seeds. And that, more than anything else, is a life worth respecting. Part 3. Free yourself from objects that carry guilt. Clear the space for peace. Walk through your home for a moment. Do you notice the corners filled with things you never use, yet never dare to throw away? The dress you bought but never wore. The stack of letters from someone who betrayed your trust. The chair that once belonged to a love who left you behind. On the surface, they are only objects. But in truth, they are anchors. They do not weigh in your hands, they weigh in your heart. Every time you glance at them, a shadow of guilt or pain rises. And without realizing it, you relive the past again and again. This is not memory, it is bondage. Epictetus taught, freedom is not achieved by controlling things outside of us, but by mastering our attachment to them. That means the object itself is not the prison, the attachment island. I once met a woman who had kept her ex-husband's armchair in her living room for 15 years. She said it was just a habit, but each time she looked at it, she felt the anger of being abandoned all over again. The ghost of the past was still sitting in her house. The day she finally gave it away, she told me something unforgettable. It feels like I can breathe again. The air itself had changed. That is the power of letting go. So here is your challenge. Take a slow walk through your home. Notice which objects bring you peace and which ones bring you pain. If something stirs guilt, regret, or sorrow, it is not serving you. It is chaining you. Choose just one item this week. Give it away. Donate it. Throw it out if you must. But don't let it sit there one more day, stealing your breath. And as you release it, speak these words. I am not defined by what hurt me. I am defined by what I choose to keep. Letting go is not about losing. It is about creating space, space for air, space for light, space for joy to re-enter your life. Remember this, your home reflects your soul. When you clear the clutter outside, you clear the weight inside. And peace, at last, has room to live with you. Part 4. Break free from conversations about illness. Protect the color of your soul. Have you ever noticed how some gatherings turn into a parade of symptoms? One person talks about blood pressure, another about aching joints. Someone else lists their medications like trophies of survival. And by the time you leave, you feel heavier, more fearful, even if you walked in feeling fine. This is the trap of illness-centered conversations. They don't just describe reality, they magnify it. A small discomfort grows into a monster. A passing pain becomes a permanent identity. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." Ask yourself, what color does your soul take on when every word around you is soaked in sickness, fear, and decline? It turns gray. It loses its spark. Of course, health is important. Acknowledging pain is part of being human. But when illness dominates every conversation, it steals the space for joy, for laughter, for possibility. It teaches us to see ourselves not as living souls, but as failing bodies. Imagine every conversation as a shared table. If only dishes of pain are served, no matter how hungry you are for joy, you will end up swallowing bitterness. But if someone dares to bring a different dish, a story of gratitude, a dream yet to be lived, a memory that sparks a smile, the entire table changes. Here is your practice. The next time a dialogue sinks into an endless spiral of sickness, gently interrupt it. Ask a new question. What is one thing that made you smile this week? Or, what dream do you still hold on to? Not everyone will follow, but those who do will feel a spark of life return. Remember, you are not selfish for stepping out of conversations that drain your spirit. You are protecting your dignity. Every word you consume is either medicine or poison. Choose wisely. Pain may be part of life, but it does not deserve to occupy all your words. Speak of what still blooms, and you will find that even in the autumn of life, spring can reappear in your soul. Part 5. Distance yourself from people who drain you. Protect your inner garden. Think about the people you allow into your life. Some arrive with warmth, leaving you lighter, calmer, inspired. And some arrive with complaints, demands, or criticism. They pour their burdens into your lap and leave you emptier than before. These are energy drainers, and if you're honest, you already know who they are. Seneca once said, "It is better to be alone than in bad company." At first, that sounds harsh. But look deeper. Bad company doesn't just sour your mood. It steals your health, your time, your peace. Stress from toxic relationships creeps into your sleep, your heart, even your body's strength. Imagine your life as a garden. Every person you let in is a seed. Some grow into flowers that bring color and fragrance. Others grow into weeds that choke out everything good. You may not stop weeds from appearing, but you can decide whether to let them spread. Here is the test. After spending time with someone, ask yourself, do I feel nourished or do I feel drained? If you walk away tired, frustrated, or heavy, that is a warning. If you walk away calmer or stronger, that is a gift. The choice is clear. Water the flowers, not the weeds. This doesn't mean you must cut ties with cruelty. It means creating boundaries with courage. It means giving your time to those who add to your life and limiting the ones who subtract from it. Try this practice. The next time someone begins to unload endlessly, pause and say, "I care about you, but I cannot carry this right now." That single boundary protects your energy without hate, without guilt. Remember, your time at this stage of life is pure gold. You cannot afford to spend it on people who only take and never give. Loneliness is not the enemy here. The true loneliness is sitting beside someone who doesn't value you while your soul cries out for peace. So guard your garden, clear the weeds, and watch serenity bloom again. Part 6. Stop justifying every decision. Reclaim your freedom. How many times have you felt the need to explain yourself? You say no to a family gathering and suddenly feel guilty, rushing to invent excuses. You buy something that brings you joy and quickly add, "It wasn't a waste, I got it on sale." You choose rest and feel compelled to prove you're not lazy. This habit of over-explaining is not courtesy, it's a quiet chain. It ties your freedom to the approval of others. But ask yourself, do you really need permission to live your own life? Marcus Aurelius reminded us, tranquility comes when we stop looking to others and live in harmony with our own nature. Every time you justify your choices, you hand over a piece of that tranquility. You let someone else edit the book of your life, crossing out your sentences and scribbling notes in the margins. In the end, is that book still yours or theirs? It's time to take the pen back. Here is a practice you can try. The next time you decide something simple like taking a nap or choosing not to answer the phone, resist the urge to explain. Say nothing more than, "This is what I need right now." Let the silence stand. You'll notice the world doesn't collapse, but inside, something powerful happens. Your inner authority grows stronger. Over time, this becomes liberating. You no longer waste energy trying to convince others. You no longer shrink your decisions into palatable excuses. You simply live. Remember this truth. A life that must constantly justify itself is no longer your own, but a life that stands firm in quiet dignity that is freedom. So stop asking for permission to rest. Stop apologizing for doing what keeps you whole. Stop explaining your peace as if it were a crime. You have earned the right to live in alignment with your soul, and you owe no one an explanation for that. Part 7. Let go of the fear of change. Dare to begin again. One of the most dangerous phrases you can say after 60 is this: "It's too late for me." Those 4 words are heavier than wrinkles, heavier than aches, heavier than time itself. Because the moment you believe them, your life stops moving, even though your heart is still beating. Seneca once said, "As long as you live, keep learning how to live." Think about that. He did not say, "while you're young." He said, "as long as you live." Meaning, every sunrise is still an invitation to begin again. Fear of change whispers lies. It says, "That new class isn't for someone your age." It says, "Travel is for the young." It says, "Dreams are wasted on you now." But look around the world. There are people who found love at 70, who learned to paint at 75, who started businesses at 80. They did not ask permission from the calendar. They simply chose to begin. Life is like a river. The water is never the same. It flows, it renews, it adapts. Clinging to the idea that you cannot change is like trying to trap water in your hands. You end up empty. So here is your practice. Choose one small beginning this week. Sign up for a class, even online. Pick up an old hobby you abandoned years ago, or simply take a new path on your daily walk. Each act is a declaration. I am still alive. I am still growing. Do not let other people's voices tell you what's possible. Your children may say, "Why now?" Your friends may ask, "What's the point?" But they do not live in your skin. They do not feel your heartbeat. Only you do. The truth is this: change has no age limit. Fear is always weaker than a decision rooted in courage, and beginnings belong to anyone brave enough to claim them. So let go of the fear of change. Dare to start again, because every fresh step you take is proof that your story is not over. It is still being written. Part 8. Release resentment, the acid that ages the heart. Think of the names, the faces, the words that still burn inside you. A sibling who betrayed your trust. A partner who broke their promise. A friend who disappeared when you needed them most. You may believe holding on to that anger protects you. That resentment keeps you strong, like armor against future pain. But here is the truth. Resentment is not armor. It is acid. And the longer you hold it, the more it corrodes your heart. Epictetus said, "It is not things themselves that disturb us, but the opinions we form about them." The harm already happened. But resentment is the choice to relive it, again and again, every time memory returns. You are drinking poison, hoping it will hurt someone else. But the only one it weakens is you. I once met a man in his 70s who still spoke with rage about something his brother had done 50 years earlier. The betrayal was real, yes. But while his brother moved on, started a family, lived a life, he remained trapped in a prison built from his own bitterness. His body looked aged, but his resentment made his spirit older still. Forgiveness is not a favor you give the other person. It is freedom you grant yourself. It is knocking down a wall you built and letting sunlight pour in again. Here is a practice for you. Write a letter to the person you still resent. Pour out the words you never said. Then seal it away or burn it. Not for them, for you. To signal to your own soul that you are done carrying this weight. Remember this: the years themselves do not steal your joy. Resentment does, and nothing rejuvenates the spirit more than releasing a grudge that has overstayed its welcome. So let go, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. You deserve lightness. You deserve to live the rest of your life unchained. Resentment is the acid that ages you. Release it, and your heart will feel younger than your years. Part 9. Stop asking permission for peace. Live without apology. For too long, you may have felt the need to explain your peace. You rest instead of attending a gathering and quickly apologize. You choose silence instead of answering the phone and rush to justify it. You protect your time and feel guilty, as if your calm must be approved by others. But let me tell you this: peace is not something you request. It is something you claim. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, serenity comes when you stop worrying about what is beyond your control. And nothing is more beyond your control than the opinions of others. So why give away your calm to their judgment? Imagine your peace as a sanctuary, a sacred temple within. Every time you explain yourself, you open the doors to strangers and let them rearrange the furniture of your soul. Soon, the sanctuary is no longer yours. It is cluttered with their demands, their expectations, their noise. But when you choose to close the doors with quiet dignity, not anger, not pride, just firm respect, your peace regains its strength. It becomes a fortress. And no one needs to approve its existence. Here is your practice. The next time someone questions why you are resting or why you are silent, resist the urge to justify. Instead, simply say, "This is what I choose." Let your calm tone speak louder than excuses ever could. At first, it may feel uncomfortable, but slowly you will realize that your peace does not collapse under the weight of disapproval. It stands taller. It grows stronger. Because peace that depends on permission is fragile, but peace that stands without apology, that is unshakable. So stop asking for approval to rest. Stop explaining your silence as if it were a mistake. Stop apologizing for choosing calm. Your peace is not negotiable. It does not need permission. It only needs your protection. And when you finally live without apology, you will discover a freedom deeper than youth, stronger than time, and richer than anything the world can give. Conclusion. We've walked through 9 burdens that seemed heavy, yet every single one can be set down. Each act of release gives you back space, breath, and your true self. To seal this journey, write in the comments, "My peace is not negotiable." Let it be your vow, not to the world, but to your own heart. And if you wish to continue this path with us, modern Stoics learning to live lighter in a noisy world, hit subscribe and join the community. Remember, happiness isn't found in holding on. It begins the moment you dare to let go.